Hi, my name is Nicole Nichols. I'm a public services librarian here at Coastal Carolina Community College, and I'm here today to talk with you about how to use PrepStep to prepare for occupational exams. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you have an account with PrepStep so that when you're taking these practice tests, you'll have a place for your scores to be recorded. So in order to do that, go ahead and click on the register button, this blue register button, and this form comes up, and if you'll just fill out the forms or the fields that have the yellow stars beside them and click create an account, it will set up your account. So I already have an account, so I'm going to go ahead and click log in. Okay, once you log in, you'll see your My Center, which is basically a place that has all of your tests that you've taken previously, along with links so that you can see your scores on those tests. So if you want to get to the main page, just go to the top left hand side and click on Home. And you can scroll through some of these bubbles. Each one of these bubbles represents a center that has different types of resources in there, so you can scroll through those that way. You can also look up here up in all centers and scroll through them that way. So what we're going to do today is focus on the Career and Workplace Preparation Center. So we're just going to click on that. And as you can see here, there's various selections that you can do here. If you wanted to see more, you can click on the arrows to see more selections. But what we want to focus on now is prepare for an occupational exam. Okay, on the left hand side, you'll see a lot of different careers listed, or a lot of different fields listed. If you click on the plus signs beside those fields, you'll see a listing of the tests that are available for that field. So for instance, I clicked on nursing, and we see that there's the NCLEX, both of the NCLEX tests here. So imagine that we're a nursing student. We're going to click on prepare for the NCLEX. Okay, so there's an ebook here, flashcards, but then there's also a series of practice exams for this test. So to go ahead and take this test, click launch. So before you can take the test, you're going to have to set your test mode. So if you want to take a test that's going to be exactly like the real thing, then make sure that it's set to simulation. That will time the test, and it will stop the test once the time is up. If you just want to practice, just to get a feel of how everything is going to go, and you want to see the timer, but you don't want to necessarily be held to it, so that you can really figure out, where you're going wrong with your answers. Make sure that it's set to practice. That's going to time it, but it's not going to stop the test once you get done. And then if you just want to, brush up on your skills and on your knowledge base, go ahead and set it to learner, because that way it will show you the answers as you answer each question. And it's not timed, and it's just basically a study tool. So I'm going to leave it on practice just to show you how this works. So I'm going to click start test, and you're just going to go ahead and answer your question. So I'm just going to select a few answers here. If you wanted to go back to a question or go to the next question, you can use the previous and next button. So of course previous is blacked out, it's grayed out right now because we're at the beginning of the test. But again, if you wanted to move around within the test, you can click these two previous or next buttons. You can also jump to a question if you click the jump to a question link, and you can see which questions you've already answered and then jump to other questions as you need to. Also, once you get done with your test, you can click on score my test, but score my test. If you have to leave and come back to the test, click on save and finish later. So imagine if you're done with this test, you can click score my test, and it's going to ask you one last time if you're sure about your answer. So it'll put this grid up here where you can click on a number and go back to that question just to check to make sure that you're sure about your answers. If you're sure about the answers, go ahead and click score in the bottom right hand corner. and you'll see a score report. So this score report goes over all of the topics that the tests represented and how you did on those topics. So this will help you to be able to study further and focus in on the topics that you have trouble with. As you scroll down, you'll get down to the bottom where it has recommendations for what to do next, or more practice tests to help you out to continue your study. So again, if you wanted to see your scores, you can click on My Center, and it will load up all of the tests that you've taken throughout the whole database. So, and as you can see here, this NCLEX practice exam that we just looked at is here. So that's a short tutorial on how to use this to practice your exams for occupational and careers. If you have any questions, feel free to drop by the library or reach out to us. We will be definitely glad to help you. Thank you.